and you continue to learn no matter your age. You continue to learn until the day you die. So, CJ,
my President, fellow Rotarians, guests and friends of the Rotary family. If you want to be a good leader,
join the Rotary.
If you want to be a good leader,
join the Rotary. Come join the Rotary. Come join the Rotary. Come join the Rotary and be a good leader.
Between 9th and 10th of April 2021, this song came to life by virtue of the trainings that we had. On the 9th, it was on grant management seminar. On the 10th, generally, the club's trainer, the club secretary, and the club treasurer, inclusive of other officers of the club, were trained on matters of the club. One thing that kept re-echoing, aside just trying to put flesh to what the two previous speakers had reported on, one thing that came as a re-echoing factor was the issue of accountability. And for the grant management seminar, where we were taught on how to assess global grants, the Rotary International Global Grant, they told us that if we have a good project to sell to the world, that we can get assistance, depending on how we package it. And towards the end of that training, we are also taught that we should not always be looking forward to donors coming to give to us. That we too can also give to other clubs. They even gave us one of the clubs in Port Harcourt that was privileged to contribute $600 to another club's project, which was on rebuilding Cambodia. And for participating in that, the club was recognized. So it is not only you that should expect donation. You too should look forward to giving donation. That makes you an outstanding club. And another emphasis on the grant is the fact that Rotary International does not play with accountability. To start with, the president is not supposed to be a signatory to the grant account. Aside the club's account that we are supposed to run, if we are interested in getting a global grant, we ought to run a global grants, Rotary Club of Grand Bonny global grants account, which separates that account from the club account, so that there will be no situation of the club deciding to borrow funds from the grant account to run the club. And in the same vein, every fathom is expected to be receipted for. In the same vein, you are not expected to make any cash payment to anybody. If you have to make a cash payment to a contractor, it must be justified. It must be receipted or acknowledged by whoever the beneficiary is. And when you finish collating whatever your accounts are, you are supposed to keep that account for the next 5 years, because Rotary International can send in her officers anytime to the club to come and look at those accounts. In the same vein, just like they were emphasizing on accountability and the global grants, they also emphasized on accountability and the club affairs. In short, the president was sternly advised to, as much as possible, stay away from handling club cash. So whoever is handling club funds must know that you have to account for that fund. Somebody, I was just in the issue of accountability with the person, and the person said, the fact that you were accountable does not mean that you did not steal money. And we all laughed. So, but the major thing is be seen as accounting for whatever funds that you are given to, or whatever responsibility is handed over to you to be executed on behalf of the club. They say that way, a lot of people, because the membership committee, when they gave the analysis, they say about 60% of those who leave club, as in they become disenchanted with the club, is primarily because of the issue of accountability. As little as our SAA is, everybody should be privy to what is raised every meeting. And as little as it is, everybody should be privy to how it is administered, for whatever purpose it is administered, because it's collective money. Once it, no matter if even if the president gave 5,000 as SAA and it's the only income that was generated, once it comes into the club's account, it becomes the club's money. It's no longer the president's money. So at that point in time, it must be accounted for, because we have given him recognition by clapping for him for donating 5,000 to us. So that will give him his clap. We have owned our 5,000 naira. So in the coming year, by God's grace, I pray it will be everybody's commitment to accountability. One thing these trainings have taught myself as an individual is the fact that Rotary gives each and every one of us the ability to multitask. You see that you are a Rotarian holding a leadership position in the Rotary Club. You are expected to be groomed for your professional association. You are expected to be groomed for your church association.